All right, it's pod 2 for the Cramer bracket, and these teams maybe have the least amount of optical information about. I've seen St. Thomas play a couple times. Saw Weber play once. They beat Florida Memorial, who was ranked as a second seed here in this tournament. I believe the Masters will have just enough to beat Weber International. Weber International, the last team to get a bid for the Sun Conference, and they were up and down in that conference, so just kind of barely getting in on the bubble. The Masters, I think, have a little more experience at winning and playing, not necessarily higher level competition, but playing at a higher level consistently. So I give that one to the Masters to advance, and then St. Thomas, definitely I have them over Pikeville. Pikeville's not bad. They play some of that really strong East Coast style basketball. Both of these teams are on the East Coast, but St. Thomas has a lot more run and gun type feel. They're going to have some size. They are the season champs for the Sun, tied, and then Florida Memorial won the conference tournament for the Sun. But St. Thomas has always been considered this year to be the top of that Sun Conference. So I don't think there's going to be a big problem for them to beat Pikeville. I mean, any upset could happen, right? So if Pikeville somehow just showed up, played lights out, I'm not going to be shocked. I'd be surprised, but not shocked. And the Masters, Weber, yeah, that could go either way. I just got the Masters. So what about you guys?
For me, I want to see the tied for each conference in a game. So I'm going with the Masters tied with Arizona Christian for their conference, as well as St. Thomas tied with Florida Memorial. I want to see them play each other, see how that would look in the next round. So those are my two picks.
Yeah, I've got St. Thomas hosting this host site right here, so I think I'm just giving them the edge over Pikeville. Like you mentioned, top team in the Sun, very competitive conference. Masters Weber is tough because remember, Masters in California, they're having to fly all the way to Florida to play this game.
That is true.
It is a long way to go.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it. It is down in Miami Gardens, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's down in that Miami area. Yeah, it might be Fort Lauderdale.
It's Miami Gardens.
Let me check.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
Okay,
There's four teams down within just a few miles of each other. So, that is a long ways. That's a good point, James.
So I think I'm having a tough time because I think Masters should win, but I think the travel is going to be difficult. So I'm going to stick with the Masters for now.
Okay. So we haven't talked a whole lot about travel, but I think, I do like the fact they get a couple days to practice and get familiar. It's all going to be down to the team. How well do they travel? And if they travel
jet
well,
lag.
There's no real jet lag. I mean, you're still on the same continent. I mean, there is it's Eastern time versus Pacific time,
so 2 hours
but
difference.
3. But
but still, it all kind of comes down to that. If you think the Masters travels well, that's a win. I mean, just numbers wise. But
it is a good point.
If there's any kind of stumbling, then Weber is good enough to capitalize and get to the next round. And they will play St. Thomas, who they've played. I'm picking the Masters for right now.
Yeah.
But I am still
right now.
I am on. Well, I haven't submitted my final bracket. I'm just still thinking. But this is a really tough one. This is definitely a 12 could advance right here.
All right, hold on. You haven't picked St. Thomas Pikeville, but while he's doing that, Zach, can you look up and see, did the Masters, was it this year that the Masters already flew out to Florida and played a Florida team, or maybe a few teams out there? There was one year I remember the Masters. I'm maybe getting my years mixed up, but see if you can find out if they played in December or November out in Florida.
Okay.
All right, and then James, go ahead with your.
Yeah, just saying. I think again, St. Thomas hosting. I think Pikeville's had a great season.
Yeah.
They played very well, but I still think St. Thomas is playing just at such a higher level. I think the 4 seed might even be a little low for them personally. So I'm sticking with St. Thomas heading in this tournament.
So
Okay.
the Masters actually flew out all the way to Florida Memorial and beat them 95-86.
Yeah. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it was a good win.
Wow. They
But then
beat
they
Florida Memorial.
lost.
Beat Florida Memorial
Didn't they lose
95-86.
Didn't they lose to one of the Florida teams?
They lost to Kaiser 76-74.
What a contrast. What a
It's
contrast.
tricky.
Not how
It's
you
tricky.
think it
That's
would
what I'm
go.
saying. I don't. With Weber, it feels might as well be a coin flip because Weber can capitalize and beat the Masters. They are good enough. So, but for now,
That
I'm going
is
to stick with the
very
Masters.
interesting
Yeah, it's
information.
half and half.
All right, so one of the few brackets we've had general consensus on winners. So there you have it. That is pot number 2 in the Cramer bracket. We have the Masters and St. Thomas moving on.